Thank you all for being here. This is, a tough time to make it for a lot of people. So I kind of predicted that the bulk of the crowd might be retired, and that's not really out of the, it's pretty normal for my life. I'm kind of a musician and a leather worker and do a few other odd jobs, and I find myself like going to the grocery store at the same time as retired people, and like I'm on the road and kind of moving around town at the same time as kind of a different cohort than my age would suggest. So this is perfect. All right, but I'm going to start with a song called Shampoo. It's about sleeping on people's couches and just benefiting from the generosity of strangers. I've gotten good in the last few years at surreptitiously uncapping the shampoo in the shower so my host don't know I didn't bring my own. It probably wouldn't be a problem, but I'm just so tired of asking. They always say to make myself at home. Home's just where I leave my stuff, where the mail goes and my plants dry out. Home's been sleeping with my ankles dangling over the end of someone else's couch. Home's where I got a full shampoo, but no time to use it. I can't remember the last time I finished a bottle and threw it out. I can't remember the last time I got to the bottom of anything, squeezed the sides and rolled up the tube and tried to get the last drop out. I'm always leaving in the middle. It's easier to think it probably never would have worked out. Easier to pine for something out of reach than someone who could let me down. In lieu of finding some reason to be here, I always find some reason to leave. Pour out the rest of the milk and hide a key. But I'm never as happy as I am these days when I'm just on the way, halfway there and in between, using the windshield like a TV screen. I can't remember the last time I got to the bottom of anything, squeezed the sides and pounded on the counter and tried to get the last drop out. I'm always leaving in the middle. It's easier to think it probably never would have worked out. Easier to pine for something out of reach than someone who could let me down. I don't mind doing the dishes, stripping the bed, or leaving a note, but none of that'll ever really make up for the kind of hospitality I've been shown. I'm just gonna have to buy a house, open it up to all my friends, make sure everybody's got a place to sleep and the Wi-Fi's on the fridge. In the bathroom I'll make sure there's a big bottle of shampoo and soap with pump lids so they'll never have to worry that I'll never need to know. I can't remember the last time I got to the bottom of anything, squeezed the sides and rolled up the tube and tried to get the last drop out. I'm always leaving in the middle. It's easier to think it probably never would have worked out. Easier to pine for something out of reach than someone who could let me down.
Thank you. All right. How's it feel? Is it guitar okay? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a cool place to play music. It is. It's very steampunk, I guess, kind of industrial in a way that's not very common anymore. And it smells right and it looks right. It's cool. We're all very comfortable here. It's kind of like from a different era, you know? anyways, this is a sad song. So. I was only looking for someone to pull on the end of my sleeve, help me out of my coat while I was driving. Almost stopped hoping there would ever be true love in the passenger seat. Just trying to get free of my fantasies. I was holding out hope for long gone, long hearts, girls like you who would tie up the phone with someone more like me, just trying to get through. Then you fell out at the bottom of the stairs, unmistakably warm in the eye, looking at me like we both agreed the time was finally right. I swear I never saw it coming. If I had, I would have messed it up already. But you got me good with a left hook, swore my good. In love again. Enough years go by loveless, I start planning my life alone, with a dog all named Ramona, in a house that doesn't have a phone. It'll be good to put this behind me, all this strain and desperate hope. Oh, but the odds all change in the instant it takes to gaze to fly across the room. I could tell by the way you held my eye, could tell by the way you moved, walking up to me in a straight line, blazing with a warmth unknown. I guess I'd always dreamed it would be like this, but it's so dangerous to hope that you'd fall in love with me again. Cause I was only looking for someone to pull on the end of my sleeve, help me out of my coat while I was driving. Almost stopped hoping there would ever be true love in the passenger seat. Thank you. I forgot, that's actually a happy song. It just sounds like a sad song. So I confused myself. This is an old, I started playing music in Whitefish. I think I said this in the article, but piano, trombone, I kind of kept abandoning those instruments for a little just lack of dedication, and didn't quite find my entry for whatever reason. And then I started playing guitar in high school, and it was the same time that my friend Andy Dunnigan was learning how to play guitar. And so we'd go over to his house, and his dad, John Dunnigan, who I think you guys more than most audiences are familiar with, this kind of a Flathead legend, would just kind of swing by and show us some things, and was a huge help and kind of got us playing together, soloing, playing rhythm guitar. I started playing bass because there was a few of us who were playing guitar. None of us sang in front of each other, but we all kind of were trying it out on our own in private. And that was kind of what got me to just stick with an instrument. In part was just first playing with other people, and then singing in college, and then starting to write songs of my own. And then, so I started a few bands in in Missoula, and one of them was called the Best Westerns. And this is a song that I wrote probably over 10 years ago for that band, and it's called Mount Sentinel.
Outside above the towns where I go to set my darkness down. I walk down. Every step it fades away. I know what he meant by degrees of gray. The English majors say I sleep on the mountainside and think about your face. Drool on myself a little, wonder what it would take to leave you, leave you. 20 deer in silence watch me as I plot and stop. That's not rocking. Across the pond, a roast of pine, cheekgrass, tumbleweed, divide the sound. Turns off like a faucet. I sleep on the mountainside and think about your face. I drool on myself a little, wonder what it would take to leave you, Thank you. Does everybody here still get the Daily Inner Lake? All right. Good for you guys. I went to, after a long time being out of school, I went to a grad program in Missoula for environmental journalism. And spent 2 years doing that and finished last May. And I was telling Melissa this is the most journalism I've done since then. So it's just playing my sad songs in front of or inside of a building that makes journalism. So thank you guys for subscribing and keeping it alive. I'm not really doing my part, but I'm really glad the Daily Inner Lake's still around. This is a Montana song. It's called Big Sandy. It's about that band I mentioned, the Best Westerns. We played a show in Big Sandy in central Montana, which is where both John Tester and Jeff Ament, the bass player for Pearl Jam, are from. They're just a couple years apart. And Jeff Ament was hosting this, it's called Skate Jam, I think. It's a benefit for the skate park in Big Sandy. And just kind of a party, and we played at this bar called Pep's Bar and Grill, which has got, I think, three bowling lanes in the back, one of those old bars. And we never got to do it, but I think they still work. A lane and a ball and pins are going to work for a long time. I don't know if there's actually the claw and everything, but anyways, played a show there, and there was all these skateboarders from the West Coast who just went nutso, and we were just kind of watching, and it was a really fun night. And then I spent the night in there's a rest area in Big Sandy, and I slept there, and then I woke up at 11:30, and there was families using the bathroom, and I was just on the grass. And then I drove across the state to go
I thought that my presence was desired by a girl I was interested in, and it wasn't. And that's pretty much what the whole Odyssey is about. But just some backstory.
Played a show last night at Pep's Bar and Grill to a rowdy crowd of skateboarders. They're from out of state. They spilled out on the street when the bar finally closed. Jimmy shooting fireworks out of the bell of his trombone as I watched the Roman candles spitting sizzle through the dark. He drifted into my mind like blood across the nose of a shark. I felt the kick of creeping craving, the Roman softened my spine. I was likely to resist you as a pine needle on the tide. I was likely to resist you as a pine needle on the tide. I woke up sweating in my sleeping bag, mosquitoes pestering my brow. This park was dark and empty last night when I laid down. But now the day is overrun me, the tide's rising in my boots. Stuck, I didn't mean to still be here and hungover when the kids showed up. I didn't mean to still be here and hungover when the kids showed up. So I packed up my sleeping bag and pulled out the gazetteer. When you wake up in Big Sandy, you're a long drive from anywhere. You were up in the Mission Mountains, halfway across the state. It felt crazy to drive that far, but far worse to go the other way. If I just drove home directly, it'd already be a drive. So maybe I should just push it over the Jocko Divide and just chalk it up to Sunday. The price of gas in the big sky, when really I'm just giving in to this wishful heart of mine. When really I'm just giving in to this wishful heart of mine. The engine light's on, my stomach's growling, my back is tired from sleeping on the ground. My heart wants to go for a drive. Yeah, my heart wants to go for a drive. Montana is an ocean with a lot of open sea between the towns. It leaves the power lines that slouch and slip like waves laughing on the prow. And all that nothing on the radio, all that alfalfa for review, gives me plenty of time to wonder if you think of me the way I think of you. Gives me plenty of time to wonder if you think of me the way I think of you. It might just be a waste of gas, I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It could be a mutiny, a romance for the slim plunder of the kiss. Either way, it's the summertime and the day is long and warm. So maybe I keep on driving just to feel the sun on my left arm. that she's ambivalent, that I made the drive at all. When I tell her how far I've come, I get a patronizing nod. I tell myself she's from the East Coast and doesn't grasp the Western scale. Though I know that I've misjudged her and made of her my great white whale. Though I know that I've misjudged her and made of her my great white whale.
Thank you. Also realized in the middle of that playing, go. Which one? Vocal? Okay. Both? Okay. Yeah. You guys are probably all a bunch of Montanans who can call me out for claiming that Big Sandy to the Mission Valley is halfway across the state, which I know it's probably more like a quarter. But this is another song about misreading women. And it's the overarching metaphor is It's a Wonderful Life. So I don't know if it's going to make, I don't know how much sense it makes without the full story, but somebody I had dated came to visit me in LA where I was living at the time, and we had a nice, good time, great visit, and then, or we were dating at the time, and then broke up, and then a few months later she came back and was just happened to pass through town, and I spent an afternoon with her, and she pretty much neglected to acknowledge that we'd ever dated, and it was kind of put me in mind of George Bailey after the suicide attempt and the Angel, and when he's just kind of running around Bedford Falls frantically trying to get people to recognize him. And so that's the undergirding metaphor of this song, and that trying to make sense of that experience. I could only imagine that my guardian angel was trying to teach me a lesson, but I thought I'd been plenty grateful. But anyways, here it goes.
I watched your face in the rearview mirrors. We drove to Forest Lawn. For any skirmish of misgiving or recognition, I tell you were putting me on. I tell you were putting me, but you betrayed nothing. Your face was untroubled as a fresh dude over a grave. Smiling at the window, singing to yourself. You covered up what we didn't say. You covered up what we didn't say. You're giving me the wild-eyed George Bailey heebie-jeebies, making me think that maybe I'd never been born. All you gotta do is look me in the eyes, tell me you remember last November when we were in love, we were in love. Just a couple months ago you came to visit when we were still head over heels. Was chilling at a sea, pretending like it didn't. I don't know what's real. I don't know how to. Feels like I'm looking through a two-way mirror. You can't see me, but I can see you. Just praying you'll corroborate my story for the record. I swear you love me too. I swear you love me too. You're giving me the wild-eyed George Bailey heebie-jeebies, making me think that maybe I'd never been born. All you gotta do is look me in the eyes, tell me you remember last November when we were in love, we were in good's a memory when it's just a story two people share? One of those people refuses to acknowledge that she was even ever there. She was even ever there. You're giving me the wild-eyed George Bailey heebie-jeebies, making me think that maybe I've never been born. All you gotta do is look me in the eyes, tell me you remember last November when we were in love, we were in love. Slipping on the grass in my new rat jeans, I think to check your feet. Sure enough, you're not wearing the pair that I bought you down on Olvera Street. So I start checking the names on the gravestones. I wouldn't be surprised to find one that said Harry Bailey. He died when he was 9. Was you were there to save him, George? You're giving me the wild-eyed George Bailey heebie-jeebies, making me think that maybe I've never been born. All you gotta do is look me in the eyes, tell me you remember last November when we were in love, we were in love.
Thank you. I should have mentioned at the beginning of the song that there's an audience participation moment where everybody screams, but it's good to just kind of drop that on you guys right in the middle. There are those musicians who can enlist the audience while they're playing the chords and everything, and they can talk and they can separate their mind that way. I am not one of those. I am up here desperately trying to just keep everything on the rails, and if I was to try to talk and sing and play guitar, I would explode. So I hope you don't think I'm just chilling out up here. It's very stressful. I'm gonna do another song about LA. This is more of a love song to LA than anything else.
This city's not so bad by the light of a love affair. The way the spring rain will sweep in and scrub all the dirt out of the air. And suddenly you can see snow-capped peaks high above the San Gabriel Valley, and the hills and dales of Eagle Rock might as well be Chamonix. And the tall buildings with the bank names on them, almost pretty as the sun sinks down. Peach-lit and gleaming monuments to greed and power. From up here on the edge of Mount Wilson, laying in the back of your truck, all that glass and steel downtown's just ambiance and atmosphere to us. I was just about to leave when I met met you, thought I had about as much as I could take. But all I needed was someone worth thinking about while I was pouting on the interstate. And nothing's as pretty as a taco stand, strung up with a garland of bare light bulbs, above a steaming griddle full of corn tortillas from everywhere else is closed. The kamikaze clouds of the parakeets, the sweet sweaty smell of the pepper trees, all of it's a payoff if you stick around long enough to see. I was just about to leave when I met you, thought I had about as much as I could take. But all I needed was someone worth thinking about while I was pouting on the interstate. And that long drive on the 210 East through the gauntlet of San Bernardino County, all this faux adobe shopping malls, tract homes and big rig stalls used to drive me nuts. And these 4 lanes of brake lights inching through Azusa used to would have had me pulling out my hair. But now if I squint, they sort of look like roses in the light of a love affair. Hey.
Thank you. I guess while I'm on the subject of LA, that was the good side, and then I also got pretty sick of all the billboards, and I wrote a song after I was dropping somebody off at LAX, and there's all these glowing digital billboards that are really distracting, and anyway, so I decided to gripe about it in a song. Fishing, oh my gosh, okay. Fishing for, it's one of those, I get into these spots where I start to just, the first 2 words, got it, all right. Fishing for attention at highway speeds, desperate to meet my eye. It's a smiling Photoshop, bare shoulder bombshell, making it hard to drive. I don't remember anybody asking me if they could pimp my gaze with a 50-foot billboard selling Big Macs and money back and painless procedures for my varicose veins, yeah. I wish they'd have stayed in the back of the phone book and just left me well enough alone. But some marketing team made a whole lot of money taking my eyes off the road. I don't want to be convinced anymore, ashamed of ties. I'm made to think I am falling short, so that someone can make up the difference for a prize. Bench ads painted on a bus, dragged behind a plane in the sky. It's everywhere I go and it's everywhere I look. It's getting hard to escape my eyes. I mean, what am I doing watching commercials at the gas pump on a little TV screen? I never asked for this and I can't
can't turn it off. Like some bad Bradbury dream. I don't wanna be convinced anymore. Ashamed of taste. Maybe think I am falling short, so that someone can make up the difference for a price. Squatting my unoccupied attention, selling what I never meant to buy. Don't know how you got my number, but I'd like to unsubscribe. I wouldn't know what I didn't have until I saw it in a magazine. Nice shoes, duck face, adolescent hip to waist, big watch, square jaw, hard body, good skin, prime pro, pre-check, Air Miles, credit card, fast car, stiff car, married with kids.
Thank you.
I got a letter in the mail today, hit me like a slap in the face. Says she's moving down to Lubbock, Texas. Man, what a beautiful waist. She's going down there to chase somebody. I hope he's just a flame, but he must be putting out some kind of heat to pull her down to that kind of place. She's moving to Lubbock for love. Now that I can't understand. You know there's nothing there, honey, except for that man. She's moving to Lubbock for love. Now that I can't comprehend. Or maybe it's just I can't face the fact that I'm not him. I tried to sell her on the Rocky Mountains, moving with me up north. There's a town on the river surrounded by mountains, 1,000 miles from Fort Worth. You don't usually need to convince somebody to move to a beautiful place, so I always just assumed she found someplace better. It's tearing her love away. But she's moving to Lubbock for love. Now that I just can't ignore. She's putting up with strip malls and smokestacks for the man she adores. She's moving to Lubbock for love. Now that I can't understand. There must be some kind of record for a silver-tongued man to pull down a woman like that, as bright as the new morning sun, to a shithole like Lubbock, Texas. I didn't think it could be done, but it could be done. Yeah, it could be done. I just wasn't the one. She's moving to Lubbock for love. Now that I can't understand. If she's moving to Lubbock for love, I never stood a chance. She's moving to Lubbock for love. Now that I can't comprehend. If she's moving to Lubbock for love, well then I can't win. I guess she never really loved me, or I just didn't know what love was. Yesterday I got a letter, the postmark proved it. She moved to Lubbock for love. I set the letter down on my knee, and behold the beauty that is all mine. I look out of the mountains, the pure blue heaven, but I feel like Lubbock inside. I look out of the mountains and the wide blue heavens, but I feel like Lubbock inside.
Thank you.
We started arguing on the on-ramp, Interstate 90 West. As the engine strained to recollect fifth gear, and I struggled to keep my head. For the last month I've been scratching your name with my fingernails in the frost of the window pane in the attic of a friend's I've been staying since you broke it off. Out of the blue you asked me on a date to Hot Springs out of town. And on Valentine's Day no less on your shirt, but I could never turn you down. And now I'm sitting in the steam with a cold gin and tonic, sweating in a plastic cup, just trying to make sense of your sudden change of heart, if that's what it really was. 'Cause you swept in like a Chinook wind blowing warm through the woods. Pulse of June in the middle of the winter can do more harm than good. You thought out my resistance and I let you back in. You were unseasonably warm, like a Chinook wind. Watching the snow crying off the pine trees, standing around the edge of the pool, their bare green needles naked in the cold. I was starting to feel like a fool. Maybe I was dying in the high Himalaya in the final stages of undress. Just then I felt you swim up behind me like a reaper and softly kiss the back of my neck. 'Cause you swept in like a Chinook wind blowing warm through the woods. Pulse of June in the middle of the winter can do more harm than good. You thought out my resistance and I let you back in. You were unseasonably warm as a Chinook wind. You swept in like a Chinook wind blowing warm through the woods. Pulse of June in the middle of the winter can do more harm than good. You thought out my resistance and I let you back in. You were unseasonably warm as a Chinook wind.
Thank you. All right, I think I'm going to do about two more, if that sounds good. Thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Izaak Opatz. I didn't bring anything to sell, but there's free music on Spotify, and yeah. Hopefully, I will be back in the Flathead, I think end of July, beginning of August, maybe. I might play at Max's again in Big Fork, and maybe at Polebridge a couple times. So I have a website. That's a good place to find information. But mostly thanks for coming out today, and thanks for listening. And thank you, Melissa, and everybody who helped put on, make the sound happen, and video, and live streaming, and the Daily Interlake for hosting. Thank you so much. This is a song. I was living in Nashville. Nashville was the first place I lived outside of Montana, and so naturally I had a lot of nostalgia. And while I was there, I wrote this song about a place up. It's in Glacier County. It's on the east side of the park on the Blackfeet Indian Nation, and it's called Duck Lake Road. I guess a lot of people probably know Duck Lake Road, but specifically a place called Radar Ridge. I used to go and camp. I miss a road, just 2 tracks of gravel that wind up the side of a hill out on the plains. I used to drive there when I wanted to sleep under the moon. At dusk when the hill's just a clobber of black on blue. I scramble off the main road and huddle at the gate, untie the lock of the rope as the music from my truck escapes. It's flat as the deck of an aircraft carrier when I get to the top, and nothing's quite as quiet as when I turn my engine off. Is it wrong? I wanna pull off here in my memories of the Duck Lake Road. Is it wrong? I think I know what I want. Already ain't so close to home, so close to home. Yeah, so close to home. One time in the evening, for the benefit of a girlfriend, I cued and conjured the coyote with my right hand. Another time we woke up, surrounded by a herd of cows, rubbing the side views and licking the hood, staring at a naked sow. Is it wrong? I wanna pull off here in the memories of the Duck Lake Road. Is it wrong? I think I know what I want. Already ain't so close to home, so close to home. Yeah, so close to home.
grass. I was gonna say, is this all there is? But I never got the chance.
Now it's done. All right, thanks again. My name's Izaak Opatz. This is the last one. It's called Arms Length Away. And thanks so much for coming.
Oh, thank God there's no service here, this lonely gravel road. I was gonna call you just to say I regret letting you go. I guess I'll say it to the wind instead, let all my regrets get blown. Oh, thank God there's no service here, this lonely gravel road. Oh, thank God the internet's down and I get home from the bar. I was gonna send you an email, but making a brand new start. I guess I drag it to the trash instead, where it can't do any harm. Oh, thank God the internet's down and I get home from the bar. 'Cause there used to be love between us and now there's just things I can't say. And there are good reasons, oh, sometimes forget them. You're not an arm's length away. Oh, thank God it's Sunday, post office is closed. I was gonna send you a letter inviting you to come home. But I save a stamp and I save myself the trouble of raising my hopes. Oh, thank God it's Sunday and the post office is closed. 'Cause there used to be love between us and now there's just things I can't say. And there are good reasons, oh, sometimes forget them. You're not an arm's length away. Oh, thank God my bike got stolen. I forgot to fill up the car. I was gonna go just knock on your door and tell you I've been thinking hard. I guess I'll stay home and just think some more till the future shows its cards. Oh, thank God my bike got stolen. I forgot to fill up the car. There used to be love between us and now there's just things I can't say. And there are good reasons, oh, sometimes forget them. You're not an arm's length away. There are good reasons, oh, sometimes forget them. You're not an arm's length away.
Thanks so much.